Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, there are 7 songs that I'm going to be talking about. They all come from the country of Slovakia, believe it or not, because Slovakia has participated in Eurovision 7 times. And when I say the words Slovakia in Eurovision, I think probably all of you out there only think about this song right here. It's called Hore Chroni from 2010. But what if I told you that they have 6 other songs as well? That I'm going to try and talk about today. I don't think this is going to be a very positive video, unfortunately. I don't think Slovakia were particularly a very strong country in Eurovision. Certainly not among the worst countries in Eurovision, though. I think that, like, they just needed to stick around for a bit longer, and maybe they could have had, like, a resurgence that the Czech Republic has had during years of late. Um, Slovakia is a country that I'm actually very fond of in real life, just as a country. I've been there and it's very very nice. I think, but in terms of Eurovision, maybe not so much. And we're gonna start talking about. I'm quite poor with what year all of these songs participated, but I think this is 1994. Do not ask me what this song is called because I have no idea. It's not very remarkable either. It's like this typical kind of mellow rock type of music that were from the 90s, It's not a song that would ever kind of make it big. It's too mellow, too uninteresting, a bit choppy, not very like exciting or anything, but it's mellow rock, so it has a purpose. It's the long hairs, and long hair, guitars, somewhat of like there's still a melody to this chorus that I think is quite all right. I'm not against this song at all. I think the verses are a bit odd. Like the rhythmic combination of the chorus and the verses aren't really my thing. I'll just put it in the I like it but category because there's a lot left to be desired in this song, but it's still charming, And it's not the worst of debuts that you could have. Um, but you could certainly do better, as like for example Poland, Russia, and Hungary had in 1994. They were a bit stronger, let's say. But then this is still better than I think Lithuania and Estonia debuted in 1994, and this is better than those, I think. So yeah, that's something. Kymnas Mas here, 1996. This is their best result. I learned that from playing Sporkle earlier this year. That's something I'm actually kind of intrigued to do again as well. If you want to see more Sporkle videos, you should tell me in the comments. We're gonna finish this series first, though. Don't worry. But Kymnas Mas, I'm quite fond of this one actually. It's an alright song. It's solid. Has a nice melody to it. The mellow mood, like the mood is very mellow throughout this song, which I kind of just get comforted listening to it. It's well sung. I like the whole like layout on stage. It's all very pretty, and the song it's not really remarkable or anything, but it's pleasant, I think, and that's enough to make it solid in my opinion. And I think it's gonna get some company here. Modlit Ba or something like that. This is kind of hard hitting actually. It has a chorus that actually sticks in my mind. I like the instrumentation of this one. Um, Leaves a little bit to be desired. Like it's not really a full package in my opinion. The cohesion is lacking a little bit. It doesn't really have a melody that actually clicks with me. The overall presentation isn't all too incredible, but I like the concept of it. I think the instrumentation is there. There's a world building in this. It's nice altogether. It's a solid entry, and I think it's quite strong. I mean, it's in the year 1998 as well, which is one of my favorite years, where a lot of countries had very strong songs. So it's hard for me to really make it like sound like a standout in a year like that. But it's definitely a part of making 1998 such a good year, I think. Solid, absolutely. 2009, yeah, this is they. So Slovakia left, and then they came back with a song that I don't think many people remember. I mean, what you mostly remember it by is two people shouting at each other, I think, which is maybe that's a bit unfair because I think I actually listened back to this song before before ranking these songs because I was like, how did that song actually go? And right now I can't tell you how it actually went. It was a bit shouty, it's a bit messy, or well, it's actually very messy. But there is something there. There's something like little thing, some little thing in here that I actually think is quite okay. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's like a combination of the melodies that kind of work at the same time as they clash. They kind of work, and I think the structure is all right in this song. And I think maybe the strongest part is probably the two performers. Like they're a bit shouty, but the way that they kind of work together also works in a little bit of a way. I like the presentation. Like the layout is nice. The the way that they kind of present themselves is all right. It's an I like it, but it's not a standout in any way. But I think it's too harsh to put it in the not for me because I still see something in it that is all right. It's not the worst of the worst, and I mean this is 2009, which had a lot of really bad stuff. 2010 Horechroni, which is kind of like a cult classic at this point, somehow didn't really make the final. I don't think the song is too like. It's definitely interesting. I shouldn't use that word when I describe its deficiencies or setbacks, but doesn't really have a drive that actually kind of connects with me. It's very, it has a world building, it has its own identity, but it's a bit too restrained for my liking to actually really connect with me. I like the concept of the song, the instrumentation is there, the world building, as I said, is definitely there. It's very well presented with the layout on stage, the clothing, the lighting is fantastic. Um, I don't really think the song has enough intensity or energy to really click with me, though. I think it just kind of ponders on for a bit too long. It definitely needed an evolution towards the end or something to just make it stand out. Well, it already stands out, but make it actually leave an impact as well. It's enough, it's not enough to just leave something like a memorable image in the heads of the audience. You also need to kind of make an impact with that image, and I don't really think it did that. So I'll have to put it in solid. Very admirable effort, but it didn't quite go all the way. 2011, I'm Still Alive. Vocally, this is horrendous. I'm sorry, but they mismatch. Like they don't connect very well at all vocally, which is ironic because they're related. But it sounds very flat. Doesn't really carry a lot of soul to it. It doesn't carry a lot of life. The song is kind of get dragged down. It's like one of these concepts where the vocal performances sound draggy and weigh down the whole kind of life that the song tries to establish, which isn't a lot already because the instrumental is very dull, in my opinion, doesn't really offer anything. It's not for me. Not interesting in the slightest, and it's quite uh, poorly presented and performed as well, unfortunately. And then 2012, what a way to go out, huh? Admirable effort, I guess, with the song. Like, metal is always welcome, in my opinion, in Eurovision, but it really needs to be backed up by intensity. This feels very like a quite a poor attempt because it doesn't really go all the way. Metal needs intensity, it needs energy, it needs just to be in your face all the time and really just click. This doesn't. It's a bit tame. It's a bit too restrained. Um, the melody is there. I think there is a solid melody in here. Not really enough for me to be wowed by. The guitar work is okay. The drumming is okay. But here you kind of hear the problem as well. Everything is just okay. And when you make a song within a genre that demands everything to be very in your face or very overpowering or high intensity, then okay just doesn't cut it and everything becomes lackluster instead. So it's, yeah, I can't put it below the 2009 effort, so we'll put it in here, but it's not a good track record for Slovakia, but they have 3 entries, which I think are actually something to look back upon with a little bit of pride. I think these 3 are solid efforts in Eurovision, all 3 of them. I'm happy that they participated with these 3 songs. I could do without the 4 down here, in all honesty. They're kind of just filler for me. But yeah, that's my ranking for the 7 Slovakian entries, and yeah, maybe you agree with me, maybe you disagree with me, but I would definitely like to see Slovakia make a return and actually try, and maybe we can see a resurgence like the one Czech Republic has had for Slovakia as well. That would be nice. Um, But I mean, that's up to Slovakia, of course, and the delegation that they have if they want to return. Doesn't really seem like it at the moment, but they would be welcome in my book to come back anytime. Thank you everyone for tuning in to this video as well. Tomorrow we'll talk about some songs from Slovenia, which are a few more than 7, I can guarantee that. And quite a lot of solid ones in that one too, I think. So hoping to see you in that one as well. Take care of yourselves until then, and bye.